a friend asking me the other day of whether they should set up a YouTube channel, whether they should start trying to do like YouTube photography, video tutorials and all that kind of stuff. And they're asking, you know, will they make any money from it or anything like that as well. So there's a couple of things to bear in mind before you start up your own YouTube channel. Now this was another photographer that was asking me this, so this is geared to more of my photography chums and other photographers out there who are thinking about putting videos up on YouTube. First of all is, if you are thinking, oh, I'll make a YouTube channel to try and make money, it's not going to happen, unless you are somehow affiliated with magazines, or if you're willing to put in shit loads of effort and time and do competitions and set up groups and all that. Effectively devote the other half of your day when you're not working to doing to moderating and controlling and developing your channel is not really going to happen. You've got to really put in the hours to get any value back from a channel which you put on YouTube. So for example, like if you look at Jared Polin, or if you look at Matt Granger, they went to town on how much effort they've put into their channels, and fair dues, they have succeeded very, very well with over hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I think Jared's passed the 250,000 subscribers now, and it's like, respect, well done. But his whole effort and everything is into that. So if you are a dentist or an architect and you do photography on the side and you're thinking, oh, I'll make some videos on the side, don't think that you're going to be raking in any sort of money like that at all. But what I would say, a good reason to set up a channel is, well, okay, this is a contentious issue, is constructive criticism and tips. So, for example, my whole channel, which I put up, the very originality of it was, I'd read an article in a magazine. I was like, oh, cool, that's how to do a certain type of photo. I'm going to try and do it myself, do a video myself doing it. If I got the photo right, I was like, cool, that's how I did it. So it was almost like I was giving lessons to myself. I was teaching myself, and if I forgot, I could just go back and look at my own videos and remind myself. So my whole YouTube channel is learning or teaching myself. So at any point I wasn't thinking I've got to be entertaining for a subscriber base or anything like that. I was just thinking, if I'm wanting to watch myself, how interesting do I have to be? And with that, whenever I put those out, other people say, oh, thanks for the videos, Dom. Oh, I learned something. I'm like, oh, that's cool, yeah, go for it, no probs. But also other people would give me tips saying, actually, how about you try, like, I put up a GIMP tutorial video, and somebody say, actually try using the color correcting tone, this, that, and other stuff. I'm like, oh, I totally didn't think of that. So there's the crowd sourcing intelligence which you get from YouTube videos, or the YouTube community. So if you're kind of going, guys, I don't know how to do something, feel free to put it out there and get the intelligence of the group, of the mass, to advise you and give you tips and techniques, or even just links to places where you can learn, is one of the most valuable things of YouTube, or having your own YouTube channel, or putting your stuff out there on YouTube. However, there is a massive caveat that goes with that, and that is, if you're putting your stuff out there, you have to really develop a second, not second skin, tough skin, thick skin, that's the term. Because in our normal daily lives, we surround ourselves by friends, people we like, people who generally have our same opinions and same thoughts and do the same kind of things. So if we take a nice photo, we put it online, somebody goes, that's very nice, oh, I like it. So you'll get lots of thumbs up and likes and all that kind of stuff. However, if you're putting it up onto YouTube and you're making it public, you are putting yourself on the platter for anyone and everyone to give their opinion, to give their thoughts, or even just give you abuse. YouTube has been described as many things, and one of them is the collection bucket of trolls. So there's a lot of people out there who are just dicks, or keyboard warriors, or people that think that they can just give shit out to other people. And that's why you'll find quite a few photographers veer away or stay away from the likes of YouTube and put stuff on Vimeo. Vimeo is the same thing as YouTube, but I would say not as good. But it's generally filled with creative people and nicer people, or just is not full of wankers. Pretty much is probably the best way to describe it. So I'm always a little bit suspicious of a photographer that puts their stuff up on Vimeo only. Because it's kind of like, man, you don't have the balls to go onto YouTube, or you're just, you know, you're not willing to take on the criticism or necessarily the shit from the crowd. I recently just saw a comment on a Facebook the other day saying, somebody sent me, what do you think of this video that Dom did? And somebody replied saying, oh, I can't stand the guy. He's such an opinionated dick. For me, I'm just like, yeah, cool, yeah, that's a fact. I would say if you go onto YouTube as a totally neutral person, you risk the danger of just not having a personality. Unless, of course, you're somebody who's like painfully nice, painfully good, just a sweet kind of person. Like in terms of photography, people who just, I would say, don't necessarily put out an opinion or put out that kind of personality is some people like Tony Northrup. I can't remember his second name. Or Dave Dugdale. Both of them, they seem so nice. And it's so nice to the point you kind of go, would these people even do anything offensive in any way whatsoever? Which is fine, and I totally understand that in a photography kind of thing, because some people I just want to know lovely bits of information. However, other people who give out critiques and give out tips and are giving opinions on certain elements of the industry, whether it's working in it, or the gear that's coming out, or the software that's out, or all that kind of stuff. Opinions are best nurtured when people have a little bit of personality and put their opinion forward. And if you don't have any force behind it, then sometimes people won't really care about your opinion, but they will love your tips and suggestions and ideas in terms of how to do a photo. So I would say certain people, like Jared, I would say again, he does his critiquing. I think he's pretty nice in his critiquing. My critiquing, there's also the term of, there's a great phrase of, the giver of zero fucks. You don't care if you offend somebody or not. So I would say, yeah, if somebody thinks I'm an opinionated dick, good. That's an opinion. That is, you have an opinion of me, I give out an opinion, that's awesome, we're all happy there. But the second part of his comment was, I despise him. It's like, dude, I'm giving tips and tutorials and critiques on photos. To get to the point where you despise someone because you have a different opinion of them, or of their thoughts, that's a bit, you know, chill out there, buddy. There's quite a few people on YouTube who I watch who I massively have different opinions on, but I love watching them. And although some people, well, one person who I don't have different opinions on is the Amazing Atheist. If any of you watch him, what an opinionated dick. But I love his opinions, but that doesn't really work. Okay, I'm trying to think of somebody who I don't like their opinions. Okay, there's a guy in the kind of exercise forums, something McCart, and generally I think he comes across with his opinions, and I dislike his opinion, or I dislike the way he puts his opinions. But to say you despise someone, I'm just like, nah. I watch him for kind of entertainment, or I enjoy the disagreeing of opinions, or the differing of opinions. So again, if you are thinking of putting up a YouTube channel, be highly prepared to deal with people who have massively different opinions, who are potentially, like, what I would say is a lot of new YouTubers massively moderate and edit comment sections. A great example was, well, I suppose at the start, whenever I put up my channel at the start, if somebody said something rude and nasty, I'd be like, that's not nice, and I'd be deleting it. I would say nowadays, if somebody were to put up a channel now, there's so many more trolls and just dicks out there that you really kind of need to, like, just kind of go, whoa, maybe just make it so that all comments have to be moderated before they go on. But there's one which I loved was when Jared Pollan put out his, I think it was near the start when he did his 3-hour photography guide. And you can buy it from him, and it costs like $99 or something like that, or $300 or something like that. The amount of people that went on is like, how dare you? Who do you think you are? Charging $300 for this instructional video? And people went tits, or some people went tits because he was charging money for something which he'd busted his ass for to make a 3-hour edited, concise photography tutorial video thing. I never really saw it, but some people were going like proper rage, and he at the same time, this is a guy who puts out hundreds of videos a year giving tips and advice and critiques, so that, you know, pretty much you didn't need to buy that 3-hour video package, because you could have found possibly all the tips that he had on other videos that he'd done throughout the years. But what this was a massive, concise, super dense down, whatever it was, video channel of all the important stuff for beginners. But some people were properly having an intense period with the fact that he was charging money for it. In fact, I had the same thing as well with my photography book. I put links out to that, and I think I'm charging like £40 for it or something. Now my book is 120 pages of my own work and all my tips and ideas of the industry and all that kind of stuff. And I think at £40 I was making a profit of about £8. Now you've got to remember, this is a print to order book, so it's not like you go to a publisher where they'll make 1,000 of them and it'll cost £2.50 to make. This is the actual people that make the book print each one individually and send it off to the actual people that order it. So whenever I'm like, oh, it's about £8 profit from that one, somebody went on another forum going, can you believe Don Bauer's charging £40 for his book? Blah blah blah. Or think, because I also have an ebook version of it, and I was charging £20 for that. So I was making a little bit more profit on that, because I think the ebook to me would charge me something about like £8 to start, and then I make some profit off it, I can't remember. But they're like, can't you believe he's charging £20 for the ebook version of his book? Oh my god, I'm just like, dude, who the fuck are you? And why are you complaining about something which I'm not forcing you to buy? Like, Jared wasn't forcing people to buy his stuff. He wasn't saying, I'm taking down all my videos unless you buy my instructional video and all that kind of stuff. But so what you've got to deal with is that there's a lot of people out there who will have different opinions, will be offended by the most non-offensive thing possible, and that unless they are getting stuff for free regularly all the time, there'll be those kind of people that type on your comment section, I'm unsubscribing, this is crap, and you just kind of go, goodbye. Get used to it. But so if you are starting your own channel, be highly prepared. Be a person be a giver of zero fucks. Don't care about other opinions. But if you do want to put up a channel, do it so that it's in your own interest, so it's your own learning channel, so it's something which you are putting up there to remind yourself, or something to look back on. So in like 5 years time, you look back at yourself kind of talking about the Nikon D7100 came out this month, it's got 24 megapixels, and I think that's a really good thing. In 5 years time, you might want to look back at that video and go, oh my god, 24 megapixels, that's nothing. Think about today, it's now 100 megapixels per camera kind of thing. So that's what a lot of my stuff is at the moment, is I put up stuff for my own, I think even Elliot Hulse did a video about this recently, about your own kind of legacy that you leave on YouTube. So I'm putting stuff up there which I want to watch myself. So if you do a video and you put it online, if you can't be bothered watching yourself, never expect somebody else is going to be bothered watching it for you, or watching it as well, or even going to the further point of giving advice or comments back. So if you're doing anything on YouTube, do it for your own benefit, not for the thought of making money or developing a brand, unless you're going to be putting in 110% effort and dedication to it all the time. I'm prepared with mega thick skin during that as well. Okay, long video there, but hope that helps. Cheers. Bye bye.